Hi,
Hello.
can you hear me okay?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Sure can. Yeah. So your little one is all sorted.
Yeah.
Good, good. And you had a good time at the birthday party?
Yeah. That was really okay.
Good, good. It didn't devolve into a drunken brawl or anything?
No, nothing like that at all.
That's, that's good. I'm outside today.
Yeah, I see that. Looks very nice.
Yeah, so a little to the right and through the window is my office, but I'm out on the back deck today.
You work from home?
Yeah, since mid-March and through the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, what's it?
I had Friday off, and I took today off too. And Friday we visited some friends. Oh, sorry, Saturday we visited some friends, an older couple who are a little bit more isolated, and it's they're very social. So
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to spend some time with them at a distance, but in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then today we're going to put our kayak on the ocean.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you don't see me next time, you should look for me at the bottom of the ocean.
I know what happened. I don't hear from you again.
No, no, there's two of us, and we'll stay safe. So the best preparation for meeting with Amba, I think, is watching Amba on video. Yeah, chapter 2. I just saw very, 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 very beautiful.
I can't remember now, but I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
It's all beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I wrote to you, I messaged you saying, how great is your grace, and you wrote back, everything is grace. That's the sort of thing an enlightened person would say. So, and it seems that Amba's gone beyond just reading Ribhu now to teaching, and awesome, beautiful.
I don't know. I'm just saying whatever comes up.
That's what I'm talking about. Because you're leaving no place. Ribhu leaves no place for the mind to land. Yeah. So as some comments come from wherever they come from, I think even a sentence or two, even a look, is somehow its meaning is amplified because I guess it's come certainly over the weekend that that's the undivided knowledge. Yeah, I mean, there's no, it's neither this nor that, right? So what's left? We're not dividing anymore. So what's left is the undivided.
So I'm just here. I don't really know what to do. But I do have my Ribhu Gita and myself. That's all. You're in charge. You tell me what to do. What would you like to do?
Really, I would say chapter 2 is really, really cool. I loved how you looked right at the camera and said, "This is the good news." I don't know if you recall saying that, but if I had to give myself a new name, it would be
Yeah.
So I'd like to read probably my favorite verse in the whole book and see what comes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Your true nature is always the undivided, non-dual Brahman, which is the mass of being, consciousness, bliss, motionless, ancient, still, eternal, without attributes, without confusion, without sheaths, without parts, without impurity, completely free from any illusion of duality, full, peerless, and the one. Into this incredibly open space, then there's all this you are, as if Ribhu's trying to help you see your true identity.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It's just like over and over again pointing beyond everything that we have taught ourselves to be. It's like somehow in the world we attach ourselves to anything, whatever it is, like anything in the world, any type of form or idea or thought. We're like attaching ourselves to things all the time. And then all of this is pointed like beyond all of that. Like, oh. So that's why I was saying, I don't know if you watched, I think it was the last chapter I was reading. What was coming was I felt like every single line in the Ribhu Gita is unhooking. It's like it almost just felt like, or when you read different things come. So it felt like just like unhooking from everything. So we have all these little hooks, onto ideas, and that's what this book does. And I feel like we do need that over and over again, even if you read one sentence and you look and you see, and something is like, and you see it, but still somehow we still need it a million times. We need to hear it a million times, and not even just hear it a million times, but actually look and see it over and over and over again, because we've already attached ourselves a million times. So it's like somehow it's just this world has it seems to have a kind of a great power to make us stick onto ideas and forms. So these are kind of like the unideas, or maybe like the undoing of ideas, all of these kind of words. And I don't feel like we can hear them too much, even if it's just like you hear them again. It's just like a confirmation again and again and again, because there's not many things in this world that confirm your true nature, really.
Mm.
Like there is like in a way everything confirms your true nature if you're looking from your true nature. But like mostly the world is trying to convince you or of something that you're not really. Like probably like 99% of the things that we hear and see and experience, it's like, the word that's coming is Maya. It's like the Indian way of saying, like, Maya's trick is to make us think that we're a separate thing in this world.
Help me hack away at the root a little bit. The one of the things you said is this sort of refers to your not being a body. If you're not this, not this, not this.
Yeah.
And when I see this reflection in the mirror, it certainly does look like me. And I get that I experience the body through sensations, right? So these sensations are appearing in consciousness. So far, so good.
Yeah.
And so the teaching is I'm the consciousness rather than the body.
Yeah. So do you see that? Or you just hear that as words? Like just right now, not like about any other times or anything. Just like even what we're experiencing right now. So you see a body of Amba in front of you and maybe a computer screen. So you can see that, like, you see, we might have the idea that we're seeing through our eyes. But actually, if you have your attention kind of like turned inwards, you can actually see that you're not really seeing even from your eyes, really. It's like everything that you're aware of is, like you say, an appearance in consciousness. So it's like there's just like, it's so funny to talk about these things because it's almost like it's the most obvious thing. It's like what's like the most obvious thing is that, of course, for anything to appear, there has to be like something for it to appear in, isn't it? Or else there's nothing. There's no, like, you can't make a painting on nothing. There has to be something. So like when we're just completely still, and I suppose like that, like not hooked onto anything or not attached onto anything. Like even that, when you're just still, even that sense of being is here. Like you feel yourself that you're just here. You're not like Steve. Like that sense of being doesn't say I'm Steve. It's just like a sense of being. But even that sense of being here, that's, it's kind of like a sensation, isn't it? Like something like, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like a sensation. But you can actually, that's also an appearance as well. That sense of being. And if you weren't here first, you wouldn't be able to say like even that being is here. So sometimes when you hear all those things like I'm not a body and I have no attributes and all, like it can sound like, to the mind, it can sound very magical or mystical or something. But actually from our just like really simplistic direct experience, it's not that magical. Like it is magical. But it's not like, it's just kind of like the most obvious thing anyway.
Sensations have taken on a similarity to thought. Yeah? Just sort of passing.
Yeah. It's like sometimes, like maybe, I don't know why I'm saying in the beginning, but at a certain time in our life, we give kind of thought a lot of meaning. And then maybe we give kind of sensation or emotions and sensations, we can give them meaning. But we don't really have to, they don't really inherently have any meaning. Like you say, they're just passing, they just come and they go. And it doesn't mean that they're completely not important or something. But we also don't have to, it's just like that, we don't have to attach onto them. Like it might be different for every being in the world, like how they live. But at least here I used to give a lot of importance to emotions and feelings, and like if something was coming up, especially if it's like a strong thing, like it has some meaning. And like then you can have these ideas, if you're into spirituality, that like, oh, I need to heal this and I need to get better so that I can reach to somewhere. or something, or even so that I can clear my consciousness or something. But like all of that is just an idea, you know, like you can kind of play like that because in life and in consciousness it can play any way it wants. So it's not like if you do something it won't have an effect on the sensation. It can have an effect. Some, like if you put like healing hand or something somewhere, it can have an effect. But the thing is, you can't heal yourself really, because no matter what is appearing in consciousness, it's appearing in consciousness. Like the consciousness itself is always the same. Like I'm sure it must say in Ribhu Gita somewhere that it's like it's, I suppose, like that, like it's unchanging. It's always the same. It can't. We don't need to heal ourselves or change ourselves or reach anywhere or change anything at all. Like the whole point is to just leave all of the seeming kind of forms, like sensations, we can say, to just bring it in a real practical way. Like all the sensations that we feel and the thoughts that we experience, we can just leave them to themselves. It's like the same as, see all those trees that you can see when the wind blows them all. If you started to get engaged that, oh no, the wind shouldn't have blown that leaf like that because now it's less perfect or something. You know, it's just like so silly, but that's exactly what we're doing with the inside. You know, like the energies are moving, different things are happening, and it's like we're saying like it shouldn't be like this, I need to change it. It's like we're kind of trying to control the internal environment or something. Um, and sometimes, like if you're into spirituality, it can be like so that I can reach a higher level of consciousness or something like that. Like it's often something like that in spirituality. But actually, there isn't even like a higher level of consciousness, really. You know, it's like for your true nature, for who you truly are is just like, it doesn't have levels, or it doesn't have anything like that. Like it might say it doesn't have any differences. I think I read a chapter like that. Maybe that was chapter 2, wasn't it? It doesn't have any differences or distinctions between this part or that part or this part or that. And it's pointing to that. So of course we will find differences if we look to sensations, and if we look to forms. Of course we will find differences, but that's if we're looking kind of from our mind. Our mind sees differences, and I feel like saying our heart. But our heart is like another word for consciousness. So our heart feels or sees no difference, and everything is just one, really. And it's like we know that, we all know it, and it's just like when we come across like a text or something that's like confirming it over and over again, it's like somehow we need it because we keep going back to our mind all the time. It's almost like a drug or something. It's like we've picked up or hooked on to the ideas of the mind or sensations. We've kind of believed them and bought into them so many times that somehow we need to remind ourselves. So it's just like anytime we remember, and that's just by grace. You know, you can't make yourself remember. It's like it's just life wants it to happen or something. So like just anytime you remember, then you just check. You know, it's not like it's never hidden. It can't hide. Like your true nature, consciousness can't hide, because there's nothing for it to hide behind. Like everything is appearing in it. Nowhere for it to hide. It's like where we're looking from.
There's a certain drama in Ribhu talking to Nadaga. It's so majestic somehow.
Yeah.
He's I want to try and introduce it for you. So if there's some more that can be said, it's towards the end of chapter 2 where Ribhu appears to have come to a conclusion. And Nadaga asks for a little more. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Where are we here? I'm having trouble finding it. Just a second. looking at Ribhu, who gave an incomparable exposition. Nadaga, in a rapture of unparalleled joy, I like that part,
Yeah.
praised the sage, and in all humility and wonder, implored him to instruct him further in the undivided knowledge of Brahman. The great sage Ribhu began to reply with affection. He says, and skipping into the next verse a little bit, I shall further describe in variety, Nadaga, the definition of the undivided absolute so that it clearly enshrines itself in your heart. Now hear the definition of the indivisible absolute with an open mind. And he says, truly the world never exists. The world was never created, was never expansive. It is never inexplicably, listen to me, it has never inexplicably dissolved out of existence. It is only the supreme Brahman of the nature of consciousness alone, with no trace of this picture of a world that is the eternal and established existence. There's no doubt of this, Nadaga. It is certain. Certainty is sort of, I think, the opposite of this forgetting and coming back and forgetting and coming back and forgetting and coming back.
We used to tune into that word certainty. I remember once writing to Muji in like maybe in about 2013, and I said like, I see this, you know, I see this, I see what you're saying, blah, blah, blah. But like I want to be certain. So like it's just coming from, I think, like to want the want of certainty is like coming from a kind of like a doubt, and that's like just what your mind wants to give you, you know, it's like a little doubt. And somehow I guess again it's just like we've believed our minds so much, and also it's kind of like we're afraid to completely release our mind and afraid to not go with our minds in a way. And that's like the little doubt, and it's like I want to be certain. But I don't know what his answer was. But even now, like I don't feel like there's like, in a way it's a different thing. Like I don't feel like there's any doubt. Like there's no doubt, but there's no need to be certain either. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday. I have a meeting, I think I told you, with two friends of mine once a week. And I was just saying, oh, he was saying, yeah, it sounds really nice, like your perception, you know, your perception of the world and all, and how you are in the world seems nice. And I said, yeah, like it's kind of like, even if like I'm completely wrong or something, like I really don't mind. It's like I don't feel like there's any need to be certain of anything. It's like almost like to let go of wanting to be certain, because I feel like that feeling it's of certainty. Well, I don't think Ribhu means it in this way, because you can take things like many different ways. But in a way, to be certain, my way of using the word is just like it's kind of like knowing. And my kind of inspiration in my heart is to just like let go of needing to know or wanting to know, and really leaving the mind completely. That mind that we rely so much on, like that just kind of really that wants to know things, and to just really trust not knowing. So you can't really be certain of anything. You can be, in a way, you can be certain of yourself, and that's what gives the trust, I suppose. That's what enables you to have complete trust. And it doesn't really matter what happens in the world, or what happens in your sensations or thoughts, or any, like whatever appears inside you, like it really doesn't matter, because there is a certainty, I suppose. There's a certainty that you're just here and you're not going to change. And no matter what happens in the change, really doesn't affect you, or like the Ribhu Gita says, like it's the essence of everything. It doesn't affect anything at all, anything true or anything real. So yeah. So I suppose that's a kind of a certainty. But I don't think it's not a certainty that you find in even in like energetics, you know, like the whole world of energetics of feeling, because I think as soon as you say something, as soon as you make a conclusion, even like to say like I'm certain about something, like it somehow it doesn't feel right or true. But on another level, the words aren't really right, I don't think. But I think you are certain that this only you are here. But the words aren't it. Like the word, like saying those words and being in the experience of it are different things. Um, yeah.
While watching videos 2, 3, and 4,
Mm.
the word ecstasy, for one of the first times, I think, in my life really
Mm.
means something.
Yeah.
There was a sense of thoughts and sensations just sort of moving through.
Mm.
And although language doesn't do it, I would say that it was an experience of myself as awareness, just sort of watching.
Yeah.
And the difference between us appeared to have dissolved a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, and the association with the word certainty, I think, is um, not to discard anything that you just said.
Yeah.
Ribhu seems to be talking about that as certainty, that oneself as
Mm.
the self,
Mm.
synonymous with awareness
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
And there's just all this love coming.
Yeah. And it has to be that we don't attach to that either.
One more time.
It has to be that we don't attach to like the all those beautiful experiences that come inside us, love and bliss and ecstasy. Because somehow it does seem to happen that when we're experiencing or seeing like really clearly our true nature, all these really good experiences come. But also they're not it, you know, because you can totally be um seeing from your true nature and those experiences aren't there, because if we believe or something, if we attach to them and believe that they should be there, and if they're not there, then I'm not really in my true nature or seeing my true nature. Just because I suppose I'm just saying that because I hear those kind of ideas so many times. I know that they're the mind can fuck that one up.
The judgment that it's supposed to be, that one's daily life is supposed to be a particular way.
Yeah. Or even
Yeah.
I suppose that it's so good. Like of course it feels good when we have good experiences. Like if we're feeling love and joy and peace, like all these good things. So even that it's not supposed to be, but like it could be that we just want it. We want the good, we want the good or the bad. So then like you're back to like seeking something again.
Mm.
Whereas like of course to be yourself you don't have to seek anything
Mm.
because you're just here.
The desire is still very much there to see beyond form somehow.
Mm.
When Amba's quiet between verses, she closes her eyes for a minute or two. She takes a deep breath, maybe while looking out at the camera. There, that opportunity seems very rich.
Mm. Like what's beyond form is like here right now, like looking through your eyes, like hearing these words, all the words that are coming either from this body or that body, isn't it? Like, and hear or feeling whatever sensation, like that's what's beyond form. That's like right at the very core of your experience. And like you don't even really need silence for it. It is really nice somehow. It can feel more palpable or something when there's like a moment of silence and seemingly less movement or something. Like there's no difference in me and you or anybody. There's no difference between you and Ribble, between you and the dagger. There's really no difference at all. It's a different expression. He's expressing like super beautifully and pointing us to our true nature. But his nature and his essence, and that's what he's pointing to. Like that's the same as you right now. The same as everybody right now. It's not like something that you have to reach to.
I can't seem to form another question.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose the reason why he's pointing to it is the only thing is that to realize it and to kind of live from there, it's just much more peaceful.
Mm.
It's like when this world seems to be here, like it's so much nicer to not be attached and engaged in a kind of controlling way.
Mm.
It's really just like like this, like you are now sitting in the garden and just like you can hear sounds and feel the breeze and you smell the trees. Just like the same like that all the time, no matter what the experiences are that's happening, seemingly good or bad, just like that. They're just like kind of like nature.
Mm. I can feel my face. Like it's gonna crack from smiling so hard. Mm.
And in a way, we don't even need to know why anything. Yeah. Like somehow when I say like why, that like it's like we don't suffer our existence or something. It somehow it feels like maybe there's a bigger reason for recognizing our true nature. Well, like I don't know what it is. But like it seems if you have a choice to like either believe yourself to be something that you're not or to just be what you are, of course it seems like better to be what you are. I don't know why really. But like it's kind of obvious in a way. Of course, like you want the truth just because purely just because it's true. It's not even that you're going to get something, you're not going to get anything. Because of course you can't get anything because there's nothing to get. That's the whole point, isn't it? Like there isn't all different things. There's nothing that you can do to add to yourself. So by recognizing what's true, you don't add any value to yourself or anything, nothing.
This was a powerful experience with Hanuman and satsang many, many years ago, before kids, where I was sitting there and realized that I didn't really want anything else to happen, that the desire for something else to happen had kind of fallen away. And then, oh. I wonder if I could bring another description to what was going on while watching the last 3 or 4 videos. And it's more the sort of figure ground changing. Like it used to be that I was believing all my thoughts basically.
Mm.
And then, letting go of the belief in them for that little bit was sort of putting down that big bag of rocks I'm carrying around most of the time. Oh, I'm a bit lighter now.
Mm-hmm. This is a noisy ball.
That bottle says, "Fill me."
Yeah.
Fill me and drink me again. So that was very, I want to say juicy for me to see you drink water and to have you say, I've been reminded to drink water, right? And so there was this big, me.
Yeah, that was me.
And then, who is that? Who is that me?
Yeah, great.
It wanted to see water go into her.
Mm-hmm.
So so glad to have Ribhu brought to life by you in this way. And I think it's worth considering that YouTube is as close to an indelible record as worldwide society offers us right now. So
Yeah.
think in terms of several hundred years of permanence, such as it is.
Yeah, if somebody wants to find it, they can.
Say again?
If somebody wants to find it, they can.
Yes. And there is a soccer stadium full of impressionable young men who are looking for Amba, headed your way.
Yeah, take.
Now, you're taken?
Yeah.
Of course you're taken. But they're my younger brothers. They're attentive and listening and willing to learn.
Yeah.
And they only want guidance. They don't necessarily need to grab and feel. And look at me, 5 years later. Yeah, 5 years after some videos that you put out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, who knows why we do things? You just never know. Just like if it feels right to do something, you just do.
At the moment, does it feel right to record more?
Yeah, like at the moment, it feels like I want to read all the chapters, but like you never know what will happen.
You had an audience last time.
Yeah. So,
if it's possible, I'd like to be part of that audience.
Yeah, I think it's just when because I pressed live and whoever is subscribed to me on YouTube, so it probably popped up for them somewhere like Amba is live. That must be how, because I didn't tell anybody, I just did it.
Okay.
So if you just subscribe to the channel, it'll pop up.
I think I have to subscribe and also be sort of, I guess I have to also be open to notifications of some kind to know that you're, okay, all right.
I was surprised to see anybody there.
You were surprised too, okay. Okay.
I didn't expect there to be anybody there.
Okay. Interesting.
So do you want to say anything else before we leave for today?
Just that seeing grace all over the place. It's really beautiful.
You know, like saying like grace is all there is the same as saying like the self is all there is. Or you is all there is. Same thing. And in a way it's grace because it feels like it's like the nature of the self is to be kind of life-giving and like it's for itself. It doesn't do anything like bad for itself. So even if something seems bad, basically whatever happens, whatever appears all the time, always, always, it's always for your benefit all the time. Somehow, like we can miss it if we're not kind of tuned in that way, but it really is always, always only because it's like yourself is making something appear to itself, you know. So it's for you, like, and I don't feel like you have to know, you don't have to work it out, you don't have to like. I feel like I kind of like to think, like I've always liked to think like I'm on a need to know basis. If I need to know something, then it has to be just like black and white. Like it has to just like appear like this is it. This is what it's meant to be. I don't have to go looking for hidden meanings or anything.
Mm.
Or mostly like these days, it's just to just be okay, completely okay with not knowing. Just like just be in not knowing with all the appearances, because there's always going to be appearances, but like the appearances of grace.
Mm. Well, there's a huge amount of gratitude bubbling up. So
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sorry again to have to change the date. I don't really like changing. I'm trying not to change it.
Feels good to let go.
Yeah.
Let go and
see what happens.
Yeah.
Let go and let God. That's what they say. Never heard that? Let go and let God.
Yes. But there's this tiny little bit of clinging left that wants to see you again in a couple of weeks, if it's possible.
Yeah. No, I'm never gonna. I want to like.
Oh, that's right.
No.
End.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Probably in like, let's say the same like 2 Saturdays.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be we have 7 hours of difference?
I think we have 8.
Okay. So if we try for 9:30 on Saturday in 2 Saturdays?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll confirm with you on Facebook chat.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Till next time. Bye-bye.